Welcome to the Dropship Podcast, where you'll learn how to build and grow a high-ticket dropshipping business and hear stories from successful e-commerce entrepreneurs. Let's kick this thing off. Hey, welcome. Hey, welcome to the Dropship Podcast. Back again with good niche, bad niche, game show music insert here. Today, I got this on a sales call today. So I was speaking to someone who's thinking about joining our course. And one of the ideas they had was silent disco. And it brought me back to e-commerce fuel live in Virginia Beach, Virginia. We're on the USS Wisconsin. And they had a silent disco. That's the first time I ever encountered one. So there's multiple people. They had multiple DJs. Each one had a color, and you could put on your headset and you could tune into their color and just rock out. So it's silent, right? We're USS Wisconsin is a big boat, and we're on the back of the boat. It's dark. It's late at night. It's kind of quiet, and there's all these people just jamming out. And I'm like, this is kind of cool and also kind of weird, if I'm honest with you. But people were having a good time. They were, it was the last night. They were pounding drinks. People were having a real good time with these products. So that was my first encounter with this. I laughed a little. I told them the story. And then we kind of dug in, and I was like, hey, can we put this on the show today? Because I've never heard anyone mention this, and, it's got some good things. It's got some bad things, and I thought maybe we could discuss it. So I actually have it pulled up on my screen, John. I don't know if you would know the products to search here. Let me find the right window.
Yeah, I'm like you.
Well.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the silent disco thing, but thinking about it, I've never really thought about it for high-ticket dropshipping. To be honest. So yeah, I'm not super familiar with what the products look like here, other than in a very broad sense. You got a bit of search here. People will see on the screen. Ben's just put in silent disco and gone to Google Shopping to see what sort of products we're talking about here. And so I guess this is primarily, is this a B2B niche?
Yeah, that was the question on the call as well. Real quick, if you guys aren't seeing this video, hop in Spotify. You can see this video. I hope this is sharing well. Otherwise, we are on YouTube. I know the My First Million guys are, they talk about like a gentleman's agreement. We give you all this content for free. You click subscribe. It's an agreement we do. We would love for you to subscribe and hit the like button. Come watch it on video. But anyway, so I searched silent disco, pulled this up in the shopping tab, and you're wondering whether it's B2B. And that was kind of his question too. He was kind of wondering, is this something people just rent? And I was like, well, if they rent it, then there's somebody who's, renting it out, right? And so you're going to look for those people. There's 350 plus million people in this country. So there's plenty of businesses who probably sell this as part of a package. That's my guess. But I've never actually ran into this. And so, I was kind of stumbling around my words here too. The first thing that came to mind for me, John, was I don't like consumer electronics. And the reason I don't like consumer electronics is because technology is a one-way street. The price of things will only go down that are technological. Like AI is going to drive the price of things down. People think it's going to steal their job, and that capitalism is evil and billionaires are bad. And fuck, don't get me on a capitalism rant because I want to get on one of these days. But like AI is going to save us. We are all morons, and we will love to put on our goggles and have a robot massage our legs because we haven't walked in 3 days. It'll be fantastic. It'll be a great future. But that's going to drive the cost of things down. Technology only drives things down. Think about 15 years ago, roughly. It wasn't even that, probably. I got my first flat screen TV. Do you remember your first flat screen TV, John? It was a glorious day when you went from the 400-pound giant tube TV you had in your house to a flat screen TV. But they were like $2,000 when they came out, $3,000 I think they were $10,000 when they initially came out, right? Remember when plasma was a thing?
Plasma, yeah. Ooh.
Now you can go to Walmart or Target or anywhere and buy a 70-inch flat screen TV for like $200. Technology drives prices down. They become commodities. And I'm really worried that, like, back to this silent disco thing, that this is going to become a commodity, that this is just going to drive the price down. It's not that much technology involved here for someone to connect to a transmitter that connects to specific headphones. Like, inevitably, this is going to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. That was my first big fear when I looked at this.
Yeah. I don't know. Looking at these products on the screen, headphones, wireless receivers, transmitters. These products probably aren't going to get that much lower, I think. These are products that have been on the market for a long time, and I don't see like that many there's technological advances that go on with audio equipment or audio visual equipment, but these packs that you see where it's like 25 sets of headphones, these are not top of the line headphones. I mean, let's be clear about that. These are not like all your headphones that otherwise sell for $1,000 a pair or something like that. These are probably fairly cheapies, in which case I don't know that the price is going to go down that much here. But yeah, I mean, it's certainly an interesting one. I'd probably what I'm seeing is a lot of those sort of packs. Doesn't look like there's a lot of branding in this space though. Like a lot of those search results were from like places like AliExpress and stuff like that, which is not somewhere you should be going to get supply of these sort of products. So I don't know. My question would probably be here immediately, aside from the things that you've mentioned, is like how many suppliers are there actually in this market?
Hey, remember Holly? Yeah, episode 212. From $0 to $500,000 in 5 months. Holly is one of our best students, and you can hop on a call with her right now at dropshipbreakthru.com/call. If you're listening to this, I know you're thinking about starting your own high-ticket dropshipping business, and what better person to speak to than Holly, who is a shining example of what can be done starting your own business. So hop on a call with Holly, see if joining Dropship Breakthru is right for you. dropshipbreakthru.com/call.
Of these products that are warehoused locally, if we're talking about the US, in the US, like that one that you see there on Amazon, AYVVPII 10-piece. I mean, that's just something crappy from China. So to me, straight off the bat, I'm not seeing any branding here. AliExpress, Amazon.com, Etsy, like these are not good indications when you're looking at this market. There's no store here. There's no silent disco store here, right? You're not seeing somebody advertising these from a store that specializes in, B&H Photo, that's a big box kind of a store in the AV space. But yeah, I don't know. Not looking good for me.
I opened this one and it brought me to Full Compass, Pro Audio, Video, Lighting, Musical. This is kind of where I thought he would need to go when I got on this call. Either lean hard into audio, video, lighting, or lean hard into like wedding prep, DJ, party, you know what I mean? Like, God forbid, bouncy houses. I'm sure they work. That wouldn't be my thing to sell if I was going to sell, but I bet there's a lot of things party related you could go to. But again, I just, I look at this and there's nothing unique here. Like you said, there's no brands. These are not unique. If you can find them on AliExpress, that means a million people can make them. There's nothing unique. It's just headphones that tune to a specific channel. It is just a receiver sending these out. They're colored. I think you could sell this as part of a business, but I would definitely not have, like you said, a silent disco business.
Yeah. No, I just did a similar Google search in Australia, because obviously I'm on the Australian Google here, and I actually did get a store come up, Silent Sounds it's called, and they sell silent sound packages, build your own kit, silent disco purchase, but they also go into, this is interesting, they also go into things like silent disco for schools, silent conferences, silent yoga and fitness, silent cinema, now silent walking tour. Now, I don't know if those are all things that actually many people do or not, but it appears like maybe there is a broader sort of market for these sort of products. So, as far as whether there's a market there or not, like maybe there is. I mean, there's obviously a market there. Is it big enough to build a business around? Obviously, the next step, I think, would be to look at some keyword research, see how many people are searching for these sort of products. And not just searching for silent disco, because that's not people searching for silent disco products, but searching for things like silent disco kit, for example, silent disco headphones, and so on and such forth, silent disco purchase. These are people that are probably looking for those products. So I'd probably have a look at the volume, but the biggest one for me there is definitely the lack of suppliers. On that look straight away, I can see that it's unlikely there are enough suppliers. And when you think about one of our niche selection criteria that we talk about in Dropship Breakthru, we're generally recommending that you go for a market where you can identify at least 10 suppliers of the products that you want to sell. Right? So I don't see this in this market at all, which for me by itself, I think maybe Silent Disco could be part of a broader store like you mentioned, but I don't see that there's enough there to build a decent sized high ticket dropshipping business around.
Yeah, I think, look, I've been cruising this site here. Hopefully that comes across well on the video. I think this is a good business. It's not a high ticket dropshipping business. It's a business. Like, you're putting on these things, right? They're talking about hiring you for a Silent Disco or a conference, or setting up your, like, there's a lot of setup here. All of their products are private label, which, as you saw in the Google search, AliExpress, you could do this pretty easily, like starting your own brand here. What your differentiation is, I'm not really sure, other than you're bundling the products together. You're just selling the same shit as everyone else, which is the problem with AliExpress. Like, just assuming it's shit. This might not be shit. I do like their use cases here, right? You'll often hear me talk about 4. So product type 4, like whatever you're deciding to sell, go to Google and type in product type. So pellet grills 4 or air purifiers 4. They found the use cases here pretty quickly of what they're for. But again, I just don't think this is a high ticket drop shipping thing. Could be part of what you do. There are no brands really, so you might have to private label this right out of the gates. Which is, again, not something I think a lot of people want to do. I don't think they want to take on that risk. That is the beauty of this business model. You don't have to take on that risk. And so for me, high ticket dropshipping, good niche, bad niche, no. If this is like really fucking your thing and you want to start it, there's a path here, clearly. That a great website find there, John. But for high ticket dropshipping, I think I'm out. No,
I agree. Like your selling point there on the US market for me would be straight in with a high quality product and just say, like, US owned, US made. Like, if you're competing against is AliExpress, which everybody associates with shitty products, right? If I'm somebody who wants to run a Silent Disco hire business and my choice is between buying from a US business and buying from AliExpress, like with a cool brand name and all of that sort of thing, like that in and of itself, I mean, over time you want to do more work than that because that's easily replicable by somebody else. But immediately, that's a selling point in and of itself. Like, I know if I was starting that business and my choice was between buying from an Australian branded, of Silent Disco kits or buying off AliExpress, I'm not buying off AliExpress, right? I'm immediately going to be saying, well, half of those fucking headphones probably aren't going to work when they get here. The transmitter's probably shitty and it's going to cut in and out all the time, and I'm not going to get any support on the sale. Whereas if I buy from the Australian business, I would immediately associate a high level of quality, and I know that if the product's shit, I'm going to have some recourse, right? So, yeah, I totally agree, man. If you were gonna private label a good quality kit and put your own brand on it, probably is a market there.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking of immediately was like our live event and other live events, like the echo in the room or like not being able to hear somebody or we went through a little snafu with the mic working for a little bit at the beginning of our event. I'm already hard of hearing, like our metal band, by the way, Headshot. We should like post some of my old metal band stuff if you want to, or me with dreadlocks and John with dreadlocks. We practiced in a bomb shelter for multiple years. What a dumb idea that was. Like my hearing is already dissipating at 39. Yeah. And so I would love wearing these things. Little side hack. If you're like me, if you're like slightly losing it and you can't hear in a big group of people, buy AirPods and put them in on transparency and it levels. So nothing's ever too loud. It brings it down for you. And in a room full of people talking, you can hear everything. It's fantastic. Just a little side note there. Anyway, I don't know. Take with that as you will. You might see me if you come to an event, which we're throwing one in Australia in November. I don't know when this is going out, but dropshipbreakthru.com/live. We'd love to have you in Australia. You might see me wearing AirPods at the dinner table. And now you know why.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Oh, jeez. That's what the kid at the gym calls me, man. He calls me Pops, calls me Grandpa. I'm 39, people. All right. So, bad niche. That's what we're saying. If you run with this, I want to talk to you. There's definitely viability here. It's just not a high-ticket dropshipping thing. Thanks for listening to the Dropship Podcast. You can find all the show notes for this episode at dropshippodcast.com. And if you're ready to take the next step in your dropshipping journey, we invite you to join us inside Dropship Breakthru, where John and I will walk you through step by step in starting your own high-ticket dropshipping e-commerce business. But that's not all. Dropship Breakthru will also teach you everything you'll need to know to grow your business and take it to the next level.
So head over to dropshipbreakthru.com and sign up for our free training that will help you take the first steps towards building and growing your own profitable high-ticket dropshipping business.